ざけた真似をなめるな。くそ、俺はこんなところで完全体を超えるなど所詮は思った夢だったのか。言ったはずだ。俺を止めるには俺を殺すしかないと。脱出する。この程度で仕留められると思うな。お前たちなんかがいるから世界は。くそ、俺はこんなところで死ぬのか。少しまずいかな。僕は言ったはずだ。俺を止めるには俺を殺すしかないと。そう、やられてたまるか。
もう一度勇気。
まだ終わらせるものか。やられるわけにはいかない。なめるな。だな。損傷警備問題ない。こんなところで沈みはしないぞ。この程度で仕留められると思うな。どうしてくそ、俺はこんなところで死ぬのか。甘く見るな。この私に当てる。全体を超えるなど所詮は思った夢だったのか。そうだ、俺もお前もまだ戦える。
この程度かね。
離脱する。敵許すわけにはいかんだ。これ以上は許さんぞ。くそ、俺はこんなところで死ぬのか。失敗作の上にさあ失敗させる。生き抜き勝ち抜き、俺はキラヤマトの前に立たねばならんのだ。
とんでもないやつだな。久々に面白かったよ。あの時仕留めるまでは終われんな。こ
れほどまでの火力とはこのところで沈みはしないぞ。残された時間は少ない。
おう、やるね。いいぞ、もっと楽しませてくれ。
Sorry about that. Somebody needed my help moving some cinder blocks. No yoke. So this week I got something awfully special game that is one of the reasons I actually got PSVita in the first place. Because I am a massive ArtDink fanboy, and I loved their PSV Gundam and Macross titles so much. They came out with a game on PSVita called Gundam SEED Battle Destiny. It is, to date, one of the most elite rosters of Gundam SEED units out there for a game. The only one that might come close is Gundam SEED Destiny Rinko vs. Zaft 2 Plus for the PS2, which also has a very good roster, and actually has one or two versus this doesn't. The only major things this lacks are aquatic suits, which is a crying shame because I really like the aquatic suits. But other than that, basically everything's there, including a bunch of great stuff up until when this game came out, which is a lot, as it happens. So this is like a quick, demo battle thing. I'm not gonna let this finish, and then I will get right into it. So I'm gonna need people to do some decision making for me, because this has 3-ish major routes. With some divisions, division route splits in how the game is run. So you choose your start, and with your start, you can choose to be either Orb or Zaft. Zaft being the totally Nazi equivalent, and Orb being the totally analog. And I'm gonna be doing like my pilot decisions on my own. Sorry. Up to a point. So I'm gonna need people to tell me what faction they want to start with. So Omni, not Orb. I have big brain. So there's a major route split in the middle of. So there's a major divider in the middle where you choose. Okay, do you continue doing the Earth route or do you go the Zaft route? You can switch in the middle. But there's also, midway through each Seed and Seed Destiny sections, you have a section where you can choose to go with Archangel instead. For the first run and second run, I'm probably going to do pure Earth and pure Zaft. And then the subsequent ones, I will switch it up. And of course, Archangel is the one that gets things like the Strike Freedom. So they get all the really good shit. So, like, there are pros and cons to each. One of the other major things with pilot creation, and I do have to give massive props to this guy who made a translation guide. His name is M-Wolf. And he posted a translation guide on GameFAQs.com. And his is kind of, I believe it was M-Wolf that did this one, right? Yeah, it's by M-Wolf. He also did the translation guide for Macross 30, which I have used extensively. I've used them both a lot. They're invaluable tools. I'm also going to be using this translation app on my phone, which I'm hesitant to do, but we're doing anyway. So major things that you can do with pilot creation. You can choose their portfolio, which or their photo, which also changes like the base starting abilities they have. You can change which side you start with. We start in CE 71 regardless. Cosmic Era 71. You can choose to be a natural or a coordinator. Usually my main pilot is going to be a natural, and the sub-pilot is going to be a coordinator, because if I need to switch them up, then I have that option. The practical difference is as follows. if memory serves, because it's been a couple years. So naturals start with lower stats but have faster stat gains, whereas naturals have, or coordinators rather, have much higher base stats but much slower stat gains. I want to say they might actually have a higher stat cap. I know named pilots that are coordinators have higher stat caps, which seems busted and unfair, but won't matter ultimately. So coordinators also are the only ones early game who can pilot coordinator exclusive units. You do unlock the ability to have naturals pilot coordinator exclusive units because Mula Flaga exists. We're going to be able to do that eventually. I'm probably going to start with an Earth route, so it's a little less detrimental to not have access to a coordinator exclusive stuff. Coordinator exclusive stuff is going to be anything really that uses Dragoons, which are the funnel equivalent. There's one or two other notable exceptions that are coordinator exclusive, but those are the biggies. The other major thing that you can do in pilot creation is what auxiliary super mode they get. So in Gundam Battle Universe, you had super attacks, which cost, however many bars of SP, and then usually a super mode based on pilot that you could activate, which would do something like, it was usually just bog standard invulnerability and go ham type thing. In this, you've got two different ones. You've got no fire rate limit, so you can just shoot forever. You have boosted performance and a few other things, and you glow red because it's cool. The other one is bullet time. Now, I choose bullet time because I'm an old man and I have terrible reflexes, and it means that basically every shot I do is going to connect. And that is actually important in this game because there is an ammo limit, unlike Gundam Battle Universe, where you basically have infinite ammo, but only have to deal with reload times. With this, there is an overall ammo cap. You can improve your ammo efficiency by increasing your... you can increase the overall ammo cap. You can also increase shots per reload, and that's mostly what we're going to wind up doing, is increasing shots per reload. This seems like it would be a massive onerous problem, but every time you beat certain enemies, they will leave, usually aces, but not always. Sometimes just there are regular nukes that'll do it. They will drop a crate that has ammo, so it's not really a big problem. It seems like it would be. There is actually a set of 4 to 6 levels where it is, but you get ammo often enough that usually you can at least keep up. There are, when you run out of ammo, you have options. You have sub-weapons, which usually do not have a maximum ammo cap, and you have melee. Melee is going to wind up being kind of important in this, because it's a way to kind of disregard phase shift armor, which is very much a thing. I just pressed the wrong button. There we go. Okay, I want that. I want natural. I want... So, do people want me to start with Earth or Zaft? While I sort out which pilot does what, because I honestly don't remember right now. I have to get my translator. So I'll wait for people to post an answer, and then I'll, here while I get this up and running. I can't remember the skill selections. There are some key skill things that I do want to have. Kind of like Macross Ultimate Frontier, the way I was picking certain things that improve my SP attacks. I am going to be using SP attacks like crazy, because they improve your ammo efficiency, and that is kind of a big deal. Also, doing an SP attack refills your magazine, which is kind of huge. Oh, it's in there. Of course, of course. Wrong one. Translate. There we go. What are you? Oh, okay, it does actually change the skills based on whether you're coordinator or natural, which I kind of didn't realize. Where are you? Skills, here we go. So the one I'm looking for is... Conviction's okay, but not essential. Where are you? Cruelty is okay. The Ace Killer is extremely good. But I don't think you start out with that. I believe you have to earn that. Let's see. TP requirement. No, TP isn't the one. It's SP. Hello. TP is tune points, so I want concentration if I can get it. Which looks like that. I don't think anyone starts with that, in truth. Oh, I see it. No, nobody starts with it. Other ones. I don't really care about balanced. Thruster gauge is actually kind of useful. Mental strength is also incredibly good. We want, basically we're going to be, with our natural, we're allowed a bit more selection options. And with our natural, we're going to have 2 core skills most of the time, which are going to be concentration, which is SP generation speed increased by 30%, and mental strength, SP gauge consumption reduced by 30%. So that means we're going to gain SP faster and hemorrhage it out, and use less of it when we use it. And that's extremely valuable. The other thing we're going to go for, there is one called Hatred, which increases damage done to the opposite type, coordinator versus natural pilot. If you're going Earth route and you are a natural, this basically means you're an ace killer. You're going to do like bonus damage to every ace you fight, because basically everybody you're fighting is going to be a coordinator in some capacity. You're going to be fighting against everybody from Zaf, so you're going to fight against Atherin, you're going to fight against... late game, you're even going to fight against Kira a bit. You're going to fight against Shin, you're going to fight against all these named pilots, all of whom are coordinators, with very few exceptions. So you're going to get a big old damage bonus against them. And the other one that stacks with that is Rebellion, or Gekkokujo. Gekkokujo has no English equivalent. It translates roughly to a retainer usurping his lord's position. That one's also very good, because that's bonus damage to aces. Between that, the anti-opposite type, and the enemies take 50% damage while downed, we are going to put in work. The enemies take 50% damage while down is huge. Like, that doesn't seem like it would be that big a deal, but it is very easy to knock people onto the ground and then unload on them, either with melee or otherwise. So it's kind of a big deal. But the main ones we're going to be using are mental strength and concentration. There's something to be said for penetration, which allows you to ignore some phase shift armor, but not everything has phase shift armor. Dangerous units do, so it is worthwhile there. But once you have phase shift armor knocked down and out, it's basically a non-problem. And there are some units where I'm going to be taking advantage of that by hitting them with lots of solid munitions and then just unloading. So phase shift armor, if anybody here hasn't seen Seed, or has, but needs a refresher, phase shift armor is basically like an inverse eye field from, like, mainline Universal Century Gundam. So eye fields in mainline UC do basically block beams and keep beams from being effective against a hull. It like creates uses Minovsky particles to make beams dissipate before they do any real damage. Phase shift armor is like the exact opposite. It prevents solid munitions from doing anything. IBO has something similar to eye fields in like its nano laminate armor, which makes it so that beams just kind of get shrugged off and their thermal component is kind of ignored, but physical hits actually matter. So I'm just going to look real quick at what these skills are on here. What is Iron Man? I don't know. Ruthless is pretty good. Intimidating. Passionate. Passionate does. Damn it. Translate it, please. Search it. There's also like passive skills, or active skills that happen when you're near death. So prayer is player and AI partner are invincible for a short period of time. Where is it? Repair restores a certain amount of HP. Charge restores all of your phase shift armor. That's not that great. Hyper mode activates. Probably we want prayer is probably the way to go. Prayer or repair, which means she's looking like a very good option. Because I think she has both. No, what's Iron Wall person? I have no idea. Comeback is also good because that restores HP and SP. I don't think she has that. Where's the 4-character one? Here's no 4-character one. What is that thing? Quick person. That's specific. Do I see those up here anywhere? No. Yes. Increases turning speed. We don't care about that in the slightest. What do you do? That's intimidation, I think. Intimidation and what? Intimidation. Iron person is probably tough, and tough is provides shield and beam defense. And these additional skills usually activate when you're at like 30% health or 25% health. It's usually around there. What are you? Prayer. Prayer is good. Control person? What? 4 complicated ones. What is that? Could be attitude control. Yeah, I don't care about that. Okay. So she's a good option. I want to say she starts. The female characters tend to start with. Oh, she has intimidating. What is intimidating? That's what I'm looking for. Intimidating could be the one where you get a bonus if you're alone. That one actually does provide a big stat increase, but it's like, yeah, we do not want Iron Man because Iron Man reduces your damage. We do not want that. Dexterity. What? That's not an option. That isn't Iron Man though. Oh, I see what's going on. It's reading the one in the background. Okay. Attitude control and dexterity. Which is dexterity? I haven't done this in a while, so I don't remember what my characters had, and I'm doing this all from scratch. Sorry. Dexterity is probably like turn speed or agility, like reload time maybe. Square blocky thing and square blocky thing. Okay, great. I don't read Moon all that well, I'm sorry. Oh, it's lightness. Yeah, maybe. No. It's got something to do with mobility. We don't care about that. Not yet. And you have prayer. We're gonna go with you as our main pilot. We'll call her... All of those starting skills don't actually matter anyway, because we're going to be able to call you Sarina. We're going to be able to change them eventually. Wow, I forgot. So the Vita... No. There we go. There we go. Excellent. Does anybody have a decision for... No. For Omni versus Zaft? I'm waiting. We'll give people another minute. Practical upshot is it's going to change what mechs you're going to see me playing as for this run, and then I'll do the opposite the next run. If there is no decision, I'll go with Omni, and then do Zaft second, even though Zaft is easier in some ways. They get better stuff early, and then they kind of tap out. Whereas Omni winds up getting better stuff, slightly better stuff later. It's kind of like, are you willing to put up with nonsense, kind of garbage for a while, and then basically be stuck with the Isle Strike and the Strike packs for a hot minute, and then get better stuff. Not quite as bad as Archangel, because you get like total Drek and absolutely busted OP units. There's like no in between. Alright, so we got Saramina. She's got 19 SP starting. What do other characters have out of interest? 11, that's kind of what I thought. I think the 19 is the best that I can expect. It's 14. Unless I go Coordinator. Coordinator has a buttload, because they have like better stats from the off. 16 is pretty good. 8, he's got nothing. Dudes don't SP, they're not special. They don't use skill points or whatever they are. I'm assuming most of these guys are dudes because, like, they look dude-ish, right? It's hard to tell. I don't know if Hirai did the actual faces for these characters. Alrighty, so we're gonna go with this. Now there's one more thing we've got to do though, and it's kind of a biggie. Oh, did they make me do a tutorial in this one first? Yeah, they make me do a tutorial. Okay, this is gonna take a hot minute. So the controls in this are weird compared to our good friend Gundam Battle Universe. Things are a bit different, partly because we have a right stick so we can actually have direct camera control. The problem is it's a tad floaty. We're not going to be using that all that often though, because we're going to be like locked onto things. So, oh my gosh, don't do that. Is that? That's from tapping L3. I'm gonna check that. So, movement's different. Boosting in particular is different, because boosting is now, like, a whole nother animal. So before, boosting was, like, entirely linear. You'd go up, you'd go down. Actually, there was... you did, like, double tap up. There was easy quick vertical boosting, easy quick down boosting by going But now that's kind of gone. So instead you've got kind of like flight mode. You can't see it with these early units, but it is there, I promise. So that's my ever lovely head Vulcans. We have infinite ammo. Those we do not have infinite ammo of this beam Now what you get with later units is multi-locking. So if I hold down the button, it'll go blip, 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 and there will be a bunch of miniature concentric circles in it, and then it'll go and fire like 4 shots at once. Instead, we're just gonna like tap fire this thing down. Swing, swing. So melee's kind of, it's not hugely improved. It's still got a lot of the basics, where you've got like a swing, swing, swing combo, and then you've got like a up combo and a down combo. One of which will launch and the other of which will usually down. Knock them to the ground. I've got to remember that this is using O to confirm, not X. It's a Japanese title. So in Cosmic Era 0070, or Cosmic Era 70, shit went down. It was messy. Was that the Bloody Valentine tragedy? Whatever. It's been a long time since I've seen Seed or Seed Destiny. I've seen Seed more recently than I've seen Destiny. I did a rewatch. That was a while ago. So now we have our co-pilots. They are going to be a coordinator though, because it's good to have a backup. Now, practical upshot is that they've got better stats. Practical downshot is one of their skill slots I think is taken up by being a coordinator. Whereas naturals have all 3 slots. So if you look on that small box on the right-hand side, the one that's changing, and there's one line at the top that isn't blue, the one right below the blue text, that never changes. That's coordinator. So that never changes. Basically, that means you have higher stats and maybe a higher stat cap, but your stats grow slower. I like to have a fair mix because you wind up benefiting both ways, because there are actually natural specific units. There aren't many, but they exist. We're gonna do a dude though. Maybe you. Yeah, we're gonna go with this guy. Call him. Nice work. Whoops, there we go. And it changes when you're on the keyboard, so it's not a... He's a big dude. And we're gonna also make him be the pew 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 shooty dude. Let's just double check those stats here. Yeah. So you see, this portrait now has the same SP total, but all the other stats are better. So, pilot creation doesn't really matter. The only things you cannot change are which super mode you set yourself to have. And I go with usually one of each for each pilot creation, because that way I'm able to change if I absolutely have to, and switch to the other character. It's not as big a deal. Alright, so now we have a wingman, co-pilot, whatever, squad partner. It's the only one we're going to get. We do get other pilots, named pilots we get. We're not going to use them much, because by the time we get most of them, our pilots have already gotten better. He's already going there. So you've got... You've got boosting attacks. There's also a down melee attack. When they're in a down state. If I can get it. You've got head Vulcans. You've got a machine gun. You can't fire both at the same time, since they're also kind of on and off with buttons. I'm gonna see if I can change them. I was checking to see if L2 and R2 do anything. There is no L2 or R2 on the Vita. They only have a left bumper and right bumper. They do have a back touchscreen. We can use that, sort of, because the DualShock 4 has a touchscreen on the button, so we can do that. Or we could just use the D-pad, which is about 1,000 times easier. So on this suit, which is a dagger maybe, we've got a machine gun. We've got head Vulcans. They go, and we've got a beam rifle. Or whatever. So we don't have. Oh, we do have super attacks, which is that. You'll usually glow red. Glowing red is typically a sign of, oh, the vulnerability just kicked in. Or your SP attack. We also have guarding. Shields are relevant. See that shield HP gauge? It just disappeared. So shields have their own health, and they'll absorb a certain amount of damage, and then once they're gone, guarding will reduce the damage you take by a certain amount. And it is fairly important. Is this the ally? That's how it's done. Okay, that's awkward. I want them to do this. I died. So you do have lives, depending on the cost of your unit. You do not want to use those. So it's covered by that return gauge you see next to the weapons and by the health bar. There is a thing that says return, and you have a certain number of lives. The less points in a unit that you've invested, and the lower its point totals in terms of tune points, the more returns you have. Usually late game units will have 0 by the time you have them fully upgraded, or maybe 1. Using a return is basically, you're never going to get a high ranking in a level if you die, ever. It is a big hit. Those, I think, are tutorials. That is the... I think those are the daggers. We are going to make save data. I just didn't make save data. Okay, let's actually make save data, though, for sure. For sure, though. For real, though. For reals. There we go. Okay. We want that. We want that. Now, I don't remember what the other control options are. Okay. What I'd kind of like is to use the D-pad to move, and the L stick. I didn't want that. Okay, what does that change? Also, like, right now the layout, and I can't really... can I do that from the PSTV menu? Maybe if I updated it. I have not updated it. There are reasons why I have not updated it. I will not talk about those reasons at this time. I'm gonna try the Type B and see how completely buggered that is. Oh, it's still shoot. Oh, still shoot. X is still boost. So what changes? L is still guard SP. LR is still guard SP. I think this just switches so that you can use movement with the D-pad and then switch weapons with the L stick. I'm gonna try Type B. Because I think that's gonna be somewhat beneficial for switching weapons and not activating the touchscreen thing, because doing L3 on this hash prop. Let's edit, dude. Can I edit here? Oh, those are just those. Okay, that's fine. Alright, so we should be Gucci. Now, this is kind of like the second main menu. So after you make a character, you can basically you have like an aggregated save. You have separate save files, but everything kind of gets saved in the background. So like if you unlock units in one save, you can't use them in the other unless you're in extra mode. Which it's saying I can't do. I'm not gonna worry about that. So we're gonna go to the campaign, and we're gonna start chipping away. So there's... Are these the tutorials, or are these the... These are the tutorials, I think, or these extra missions. No, the extra missions are the ones next to that. We're gonna bang out these real quick. They're pretty fast. We did most of them. I don't remember if this rewards you for doing them. We're gonna just bang them out. They're not super long. I'm gonna have a little iced coffee here. Somebody was kind enough to reward me with iced coffee for helping them with the cinder box. I was happy about this. So, yeah, okay. So thruster rating. There is tap thrustering. You can run out, but you can also like measure how much you're doing. This one's much closer to. I can't do the big vertical hops that you can. You'll notice I'm causing stagger by dashing into someone. You can sometimes use that. So melee is very basic, but there are some tricks you can do later that increase how relevant it is. We're not going to have access to that for a while. A bunch of them require a lot of extra boost gauge that you don't have. When you're in space, you basically have infinite boost, but you like have less efficient boost. It'll make sense when you get there. If I'm remembering correctly. It does not like that. Head Vulcans are relevant, but not very. Other units get much better sub-weapons, like the, what is it, the Blitz? The Blitz. The black one with the car door. Piloted by Nickel. He was only 13 years old. He used to play the piano. He wasn't very good at it. Here we go. That one, I believe, has a grapple move that'll send out a grappling hook that you can use to hook people and get more melee combos in. So you can, like, do one of those combos that knocks enemies back. The combos are not very advanced, for the most part. And then you can just kind of yoink them and start smacking them. Still have to do that. That's okay. I wish I remembered which of those is melee versus probably shoot. Up is probably retreat. And then SP will make you do an SP attack. We're going to be keeping an eye. So if you look in the upper left-hand corner, you see how they've got there's a blue line, a whitish blue line, and then a thing that's like pinkish that's increasing right now that looks basically like my HP and SP gauges. That's their HP. So when their SP hits 3, like it just has, I can tell them to do this, and they should do an SP attack. I can also do a double SP attack. I don't remember now. I think it's I might have used 6. You can do SP attacks that have more than you do. Now, if you choose to have, you basically have a choice. You can either have a super attack or you can have super weapon. You cannot have both at once. There are some passive skills that let you do some antics.
Oh no, I'm dead. This is plotted. It's fine. It's fine, okay?
So, like Gundam Battle Universe, each mission has a letter rank. Double SS, which will be gold, shiny, pretty, is the best. You want that ideally, but you don't need it. What we're going to strive for are silver, single S ranks. A ranks will get us most everything that a mission can offer, but not quite everything. S ranks will always give us, if there's a mobile suit unlocked by doing a mission, that's going to give it to us, with very few exceptions that I can think of. We're just banging out these tutorials, which is going to take us a little while. Didn't want to start the stream as late as I did, but stuff happens. This is not the one that's going to tell me about this is the one that tells me about SP attacks, though. Schwunk, schwunk. So, you've got a bunch, actually, of different, your main melee variants comes from, okay, so I've got boosting melee attacks, which are almost always a forced knockdown. If it can knock them down, there's a balance stat that makes it work. You've got normal melee attacks, which do clunks. I thought there was a melee attack, but yeah, I'm going crazy. And then you've got a SP melee attack, which will usually be like an uppercut. And then you've got a rushing melee attack, which is you do a SP boost like that, and then start meleeing during it. So that's usually going to be a force down. It's a great way to close with an opponent and start hitting them really hard. So melee is a bit better here, partly due to targeting, partly wait till I have 6 and see how that's going to do. Oh, I don't have a partner yet. So if I do triangle and square at the same time, I'll do an SP attack. Have zoom. So that was an SP range shot. Basically, hold guard, use a shoot button. SP and square doesn't do anything. SP or guard and square would, in the Gundam Battle Universe games, basically be your weapon swap. We don't have to do that now. We have our left stick, which we can tap up or down to switch weapons between ranged weapon options. Oh, is this the pack swap lesson? This might be the pack swap lesson. I don't actually remember how that works. I'm gonna have to actually watch their instructions for this one. So that's another cool thing this game has. This might actually be weapon selection tree. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So that's your guard, and then left, right, up, down. So you have pack swapping for units that can switch packs. The AI will never switch packs. So whatever you set to be the starting pack for the mission, that's what the AI is going to use. The AI is not very clever. I will generally not actively hinder you, but it will certainly try. So on a weapon that's on cooldown or reloading, switch weapons. Damn it. Then we've got the melee one. This one, actually, yeah, I can show it off here. So this one has infinite ammo, so there is something to be said for melee-centric units, as they usually have things like boomerangs. So what I'm going to do, this is going to be a fairly basic combo you're going to see me use a lot. As you can see, fairly effective. Now, the anchor is a physical weapon, so it's going to bounce off of things with phase shift armor. But once you have them worn down, that's no longer a problem. You can tell when something has run out of phase shift armor, and it's going to be on Gundams almost exclusively, when their skin turns gray. If you're that close to see them, well, probably you already know. Otherwise, you're just kind of brave. Actually, this might be the pack swap weapon. The other one might have been switching targets, which I believe is done by locking on and then using the right stick. So they're going to let me have the Isle Strike, which, as you can see, can boost for quite a while. There we go. So you've got high-speed movement, which is actually harder to do on the D-pad, so I might actually switch back to control scheme A. So Isle Strike's pretty rad. The strike in general is pretty rad. This is the multi-lock, so I'm just holding the button down and ping ping ping, and I've got that red circle in the middle. And it just auto-fires. Otherwise I have to tap to do that. Now if there were multiple targets, it would target multiple enemies. You can't do it with bazooks. There are some bazookas. Much shorter boost duration for everything. Like, you can see just runs out so fast. And it just goes for a long time. Alright. Oh, this one doesn't have... The anchor's a separate weapon. Okay, okay. That's fine. I should have known that. Goodbye, boomerang. it got embedded in a building, I guess. They track better if you have a target, I swear. We won't use them much. They're slow. Not especially damaging. Their stuns are kind of unreliable. This is going to be the transforming mobile suit lesson. I don't actually remember how to do that, so I have to watch this. Because the Aegis can transform. Oh, it's still the same as pack swapping. Very good. You have infinite thrusters while you're in transform mode, which is great. You don't have to worry, but you do have ammo or weapon constraints, and you can't do melee while you're in it. So it's kind of, it's useful to, like, get away from things. When you're doing high-speed thruster rating, like that, high-speed thruster rating, that does cost a boost. And you can do evasive maneuvers. There we go. But yeah, the Aegis is quite good. It's got a lot to recommend it. Super based on his transformation? I don't think so. Wow. Oh no! I've made a terrible mistake. Good night, sweet. Oh, that didn't hurt me. I thought it did. Never mind. But it did burn all my face shift armor, which is less than I needed. Yeah. So unfortunately, we're not going to be seeing. We're going to be fighting against this thing a bunch. We're not going to be using it for quite a while later because I can have other characters to go through to do that. I could do like 71 and then 73, or 73 then 70s, whatever it is. I don't remember that time frame now. This is probably one of these missions is going to be like crate pickup instructions. I have to remember to go to the options and switch them back, and just not press hard on the stick. Make sure that Well, I completed the mission, I guess. Oh, because I went out of bounds. That's fine. I don't care. I might do that on the next race. Yeah, no, I'm gonna... Does that count as a completion? I'm gonna go to the settings real quick and change controls back to Type A. And just grin and bear some aspects of it. Some parts are actually harder to do on a controller. Are we done? How many more of these? There's 3 more of these. Technically 4, but we're not going to worry about that. The others are like open sandbox levels. So I don't think they count. So what's different between Type A and Type B? Type A and Type B controls is, like, Type A puts a lot of different functions attached to the stick. You don't really have, like, vertical control, you have to be going neutral, otherwise you just move forward. That's not going to matter most of the time. Yes, shot him, so I guess that's shooting. That's guarding. Is that shooting? Left is shooting. Up might be melee. Up is melee. Right is guard. Never mind. I don't know. I know what SP does. That's the important one. Like, that's the only control that matters 99 times out of 100. I'm sorry. It's been a while since I played. I feel like a dummy. I've played it a lot. Not as much as I have Gundam Battle Universe and Macross Ultimate Frontier. Being good in those games has very little to do with how much you've played and a very large amount in how much you've grinded. This is kind of similar. So what, yeah, control Type A basically just streamlines a bunch of controls, and it is a little easier to work with, but I have that So even if I'm not locked on, right now I'm not locked on, I'll still target that guy and try to hit him. Which is extremely good. We are going to use that occasionally to... there are some SP attacks that's going to be very handy for. Because there are some super attacks that multi-target automatically, and it's a lot easier to do it if you're not targeted on an enemy. It will target multiple enemies. So a great example of this is the, what is it called? The high mat burst, or whatever it's called, that the Strike Freedom can do, because it deploys its dragoons, funnels, things. If there are multiple targets, I believe it'll shoot at both. You'll like shoot at a target here with all the stuff attached to your torso and body, and then the dragoons will shoot at something else. Not like a million different targets, it'll be like 2, but it's still something, and it's very handy for crowd control. This is probably box pickup detail. If it's not, I'm gonna feel like a right asshole. But so there. I'm gonna feel like a bit of a dork. Or is this another sandbox? Oh god, these early game units. Some of them don't even have like bad weapon loadouts, but like the lack of thruster is a real bear. You can do some booster shenanigans a bit easier with a bit more easily with It's a baddie. We gon' bully him. Get shot, Fuendo. So if your boost runs out like this, and you can still do an SP boost attack. So there's a bunch of antics you can get up to. The same for reloading. Like if I shoot, now I'm reloading. If I do an SP attack, I'll reload automatically, but it still uses it. And it takes it right out of me as well, which has disadvantages. Okay. Alright, we're good. If they're going to give me a bonus from going through the tutorials, then I will be getting it here. I can do the sandboxes like enter and then immediately leave. I don't remember if this game does that. The Macross games definitely do. Well, Macross Ace and Ultimate Frontier did. As well as the previous Gundam Battle titles. Okay, they are literally only letting me do that. It's fine. Oh, I can show off super mode. It's pretty cool. In this case, the bullet time. You won't see much, because I don't think there's an enemy here. I don't think there's an enemy that attacks on these. I get a whale on this. Shields also passively block if you're going from a certain direction. So if you see those green hexagons or octagons, those green geometric shapes that appear when I'm hitting, that's his shield passively blocking. So there are certain approaches you do and you do not want to take. You want to basically circle to the right, usually go counterclockwise. Most stuff has the shield on the left arm, because these games are right-handed up. Everybody's right-handed up. Like I just realized it's weird. That's fine. For kills, you definitely do, so. And you'll also notice there is a really substantial invulnerability time when you're down. You just take damage. So that skill that gives you, that passive ability that gives you a boost to downed damage, extremely valuable, as you can probably guess. Alright, so I can now think about going into super mode. I'm going to wait till we both have full SP, which means... what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a guarded SP attack, which should make us both an SP attack at the same time. He's set to do an SP super attack, and I'm set to do a super attack. So we'll do the super. So if things look kind of blurry, that's because the game's kind of blurry. It's a PSVita, so it's like a, what was that, a 7 or a 480p? What was that? Screen? Or was it a weird resolution? I don't remember. Very usable. But, okay. Okay. So, until then, so you can see everything's moving a bit slower. So one of the practical upshots of this is because everything's in slow mode, is I can do like full combos and follow up immediately before they have a chance to react. So I'm doing bucket loads of damage while they are completely helpless for quite a long time. Really seriously forever. As you can see, it's kind of nutty. We're going to be using that a lot. So, melee units in this game are... What the hell is this? I must make the fingers touch! Yes! Yes! Okay. That was... I'm gonna use the rest of our SP to get the hell out of here. Gotta get to the edge of the map. Get it. Okay, I don't have to get to the edge. I need to get a corner of the map. Got it. So, these corner of the map exit things, those become very important later. There are all kinds of hidden conditions, particularly when it comes to joining Archangel. Generally I'll know the mission when it happens. Those choices are permanent. You make the one choice, so you have to get it right. Otherwise you have to start the file over from the beginning, and that's kind of a pain. Generally, going the Archangel route is going to be the yellow path. So, Gundam Battle Universe had this, the Macross Ultimate Frontier, I think also had it, where there'd be like a blue and a pink exit. Those matter. Okay, and you have space, so you're going to see space real quick. Oh, I meant to change his SP attack, it's fine. It's his super mode, it's fine. So space is a bit different. So, I just pushed my thruster to the limit. You don't overheat. So, space is hectic. You can't do lots of evasive dashing stuff forever though, because you have to wait for it to recharge or cool down a little bit. But space is safe. Space you get up to some points. Otherwise, though, everything's basically the same. Other than having like 6 degrees of freedom when you're not locked on. Use that to make it so not much. Usually if someone's locked onto you, you're pretty much done. So, like, they're gonna hit you. There's some evasion you can do, there's some guarding you can do. There are ways and means. Where am I headed? Now the real difficulty is figuring out what direction you're pointing and how to get to the edge. There's no obvious indicator. Okay, there we go. Until we get far enough. I could be going up or down at it right now. I have no way of knowing. We would be massively benefited by having like like a circle, radial layout saying this is your distance from a target. And it does not have that, alas, alack-a-day. Okay, so we're done with all the tutorial crap. Now it's down to brass tacks. We get to bully. Punish some Gundam jackers. So this is where the game starts. And we are probably going to do fairly poorly early on, because we do not have a good start, as Omni. Omni has a hardish time. I'm not going to worry about SP attacks. Your AI allies have infinite ammo, so never worry about that with them. Worry about it for yourself. Whoops, no. So here's the tuning screen. This is the other important bit. Health, range defense, melee defense, range defense, some thrustery thing, some other thrustery thing, or movement. Let me go up to what the stats are. Give me a sec. Okay. Yes, okay, so it's health points, physical defense, beam defense, thruster speed, thruster output, which I think is your total amount of thruster, radar power, which is lock-on distance, I think, balancer, which is the thing that determines if you get knocked down or not. Not that important. Turning ability, which is your turn speed, which is moderately important, and then mobility, which is like your default speed. Radar power, we're going to completely ignore. For the most, or radar power is moderately useful. Balancer, we're going to completely ignore most of the time. Turning ability is eh. Mobility is okay. But defensive stats, pretty huge. Right now we have a max upgrade cap of 5,854 points. That includes weapons. Weapon upgrades. You've got weapon power, you've got weapon accuracy, you've got projectile speed. Accuracy basically determines how it tracks. Projectile speed is projectile speed. Firing rate, which is how fast it fires. Actually, how many times you can fire. Because this is a beam weapon, so that is a tap, tap, tap. You have a 3-shot combo. You've got, what is this one? Reload speed, not important. Magazine ammo, very important. Max and total ammo, which is also very important. Actually, max ammo might be more important than the other, because I think I'm conflating this and Macross 30. Macross 30 also has ammo limits and capacities, but it doesn't have an overall ammo total in the same way that this does. What it has instead is like reload boxes. So like you have weapon A, 1, 2, and 3, or A, B, and C. And in Macross 30, every time you reload, you have to use a weapon box. So boosting your ammo in a magazine is infinitely more useful than it's like one of the first things you're going to upgrade. Like every time. You're always going to go for that. Because it means you don't have to, early game anyway, you don't have to worry about all the other nonsense. In this, probably max ammo, and then damage, and then accuracy. Because that means shots are more likely to hit. These don't, sub-weapons generally do not have a max ammo total. There might be one or two that do. But it's, it's basically the same idea. You don't have chain shots, so that category is missing. So you have damage, accuracy, and projectile speed. Melee is what? I think that's power, and accuracy is tracking for that, so like how far you'll zip. And shields are also pretty important, so we're probably going to invest into shields as well. We guard a bit. We guard a bit in this run. Alright. So I'm going to leave that on. I'm going to leave you with super attacks, so you can have fun with that. Melee super attacks kind of suck. Yeah. So I'm going to actually take that off. There we go. So we don't have any points to work with. That's fine. There are two kinds of tune points for upgrading mechs. One is TP, which is tune points, and the other is GP, which is like general points. General points you can apply to anybody. Tune points are the specific unit you're using. You get more tune points if both you and your ally are using. I should have guarded that. This mission we're not going to get an S rank on the first try. It's basically impossible. This mission is incredibly hard. Starting off with your first unit without any upgrades, it is unbelievably difficult. So what they want us to do is they want us to like bot these dudes. Good friggin' luck. You can get maybe 1 or 2 early on. Basically by pulling. If we can take out any of them, that's fine. I've got to guard here. Stop it. Get shot. Hit him. Okay. Bonk, bonk, bonk. Bonk, bonk, bonk. 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 So slow-mo, as you can see, is bottom. So we got 2 up. That's pretty good. For first try. Unfortunately, this is going to happen, and that's an issue. We do not want to die. Getting heavily damaged is bad, dying is worse. Kira is going like he's doing like stuff. He starts awfully far over. When we get the strike with the actual attacks, we'll be fine. This is some other guy. I forget this guy's name. He's a literal guy in the first episode. Or at least supposed to be. So, much like Gundam Battle Universe and the Macross games, we want to be telling our AI to use SP attacks often, because that way they're going to actually improve their SP stat. We're going to be doing it all the time. They are not going to use SP attacks unless we tell them to. That's like the only way we do it. In fact, it's so bad in that regard. Okay, we got through it without dying. Ideally, we wanted to kill Atherin, so this is probably going to be like a B. Yeah. I'm going to take that for now, because realistically, without some grind, I cannot, full stop, I cannot beat those. I cannot get an S rank on this for a while. We unlocked Woo, which is pretty good. Woo. The star rating indicates how hard the mission is. So it's got 5 stars. Or 1 star out of 5. I know words. I could stand to redo that with a better unit. What did we get for 2 points on that? Oh my god. So you have to tap right. There we go. So we could improve our melee. I didn't check to see what my pilot stats boost wound up being. What was that? There we go. No, we're still at base level for all of them. Or is it coordinators that can't that level up quickly? I don't remember now. I'm beginning to doubt my sanity. So Woo obviously has phenomenal stats. Obviously. He also, I think that's, what's it called, like Machine God or whatever, which basically means he can pilot literally anything you throw on that. Woo is pretty rad. Your stats are basically where they were. Actually, you got some stat boosted. That's fine. Oh, pilot stats. I haven't gone over pilot stats. Hello. The one stat that's relevant for pilots is obviously going to be SP. But from the top down to the bottom, they are... Oh, hey! The guy even has a translation for how much returns and respawns are for point totals. So if a unit's point value invested is 0 to 471. You get 7 returns. I can't think of a single unit that does that. That's not zero, rank 0. 472 to 550 is 6. 551 to 660 is 5. Scaling all the way down to 1650 to 3300 is 1 return. And then 3300 plus is going to be 0. Most of the stuff we're going to be using is going to be 0. We are always going to assume 0. Where is pilot stats and translation as of such? Where are you? Is that down below or is that up above? Where are you? It must be down below, below pilot skills, which is a bizarre place to put it. No, it's not. Where are you? Ah, there it is. First one is stamina. Second one is range. Third is melee. Fourth is defense. Next one down is control. Next one down is perception, and the last one is special ability, or SP. SP controls how fast we gain SP stat. I don't think it controls how strong they are. So ranged is going to be when we land hits with ranged attacks. Perception might be dodging, I think. Control, I want to say. So third one up from the bottom is, I believe, you gain by thrusting around a lot, and it improves like your general mobility stats by some sliding scale. Perception is, it has something to do with dodging things. I don't remember how that works. Defense is guard attacks. Guard attacks, you get better defense. Melee, obviously do melee attacks. Ranged, do ranged attacks. Stamina, take hits, lose health. And that basically will improve, if not how much health your mech has, but how much you wind up taking. Guarding improves your shield defense, that sort of thing. SP is the stat we care about. Nothing else matters, as far as I'm concerned. So let's do some tuning real quick. We got 156 TP, or no, 1878 TP. That's pretty fantastic, actually. So that's our defense stats. We just floored those. We're gonna boost our mobility. The other one, the bottom one, is mobility, right? Yeah. Let me actually double check these translations real quick. Make sure they're right. Flexibility, balance, radar. Yeah, okay, good. I don't know flexibility. You also can overtune early. We're gonna do that in some instances, but these are our basic stats. We care most, however, about these. Projectile speed we can work with. That's gonna take a lot to upgrade. So if you're trying to upgrade something and you don't have enough TP, but with enough TP and GP you can do it, you can convert GP to get it. It's pretty handy. Actually, this unit I probably want to have higher ammo magazine total. So what I'm doing when I'm trying to get these from 0 to 100 is I'm tapping the right bumper, R1, and that brings it to as much as you can possibly upgrade. If I do it like that, that takes up all the TP I have. If I do that, that takes up as much TP and GP as I can afford to upgrade it. We're basically not using this unit after this mission, so upgrading this seems sort of pointless. I'm not going to use GP on it. Actually, I'm going to put those stats in. Okay. So this thing is upgraded as much as I can realistically do it, but here is the, what is this, the 105 dagger? It's the 105 thing. It does stuff. It's better. It has 2 guns for starters. It has a much higher 2 cap. It's pretty good. It does 302 versus... You did the wrong button. 285, so it's like better out. It's better than what we were using right out the jump. So we're gonna switch to using this thing. I think it's got a melee super as well. Alright. Yeah, probably. so it might actually be a combo. Also has much better stats, like you can tell. This has trash. Like, even upgraded, this is trash. So this is much better. We wind up getting a better version of the 105 that actually has pack swapping later. Some of the stats, I think, carry over. So, it's not wholly worthless to do. We are going to do this mission once. And that'll be the last time I do it until I get, like, the Isle strike, or the strike with the packs. Ale? I don't remember how it was pronounced. I don't care. I don't care right now. I care about making headway. So the game you wind up getting into kind of a bit okay, let's see what you can bop. There is apparently an entire war going on behind me. So in order to get like an S rank, I'm having a burn on the S rank. Okay, we got one. He doesn't have really good melee weapons, so we just gotta... There's also like, oh hey! No, that's not it. Blitz got away. That's fine. I'm gonna try to get just... try. Unfortunately, we still missed one. Might get an A rank, but we took a lot of damage. And I think it's trying to get out of my own. Ooh, I got him. Nice. Just before he got away, too. I'll take that. That's a dub. Then there's this one. Last warrior. So, unlike in the other Gundam Battle games... Oh, yes! We did well enough to get, this guy. He's the orange boy. He's the one from TM Revolution. This is a playable game. Not this, same time. Get with an SP attack, please. Oh, wait. Wanna do that? Ally? Ally, friend, thank you. You're a champ. It took him a minute, but he got there eventually. Unfortunately, we have a very squeaky pilot, but that'll be fine. We'll hear a lot of kias and all that, but we'll live. Yeah, we got an A. That's about as good as we can reasonably expect. And we got some serious stat boosts, because we do good. We do good. And that shows you your point totals for what you killed. Ideally, I would have taken out the Blitz as well, but I can't realistically do that. Getting an A on my second try on that is very respectable. We'll get back to that and do an S rank later. We're not going to worry about it for now. This gives us a huge leg up already. Oh, another cool thing you can do is you can choose to have a weapon on or off. If you turn a weapon off, it actually changes your point value total, which means you can have more returns, and I think it affects your upgrade stats. Let me, real quick, boost that, and then turn it off. No, it doesn't. We do want the weapon on them. We'll do that, we'll do accuracy, we'll ignore the rest for now. Suits with only one weapon, you're going to want to upgrade their ammo totals. For suits with only one, especially early game, who cares? It's not that substantial. So we boosted its power, we boosted that so it can do a triple tap. Reload speed, we definitely don't care about. That's like the last stat we're going to worry about. We're going to boost you, we're going to boost you. Oh yeah, let's do project. Nah, I can avoid projectile speed, that's not essential. What's more important is health and resistance. Also thruster. Thruster's pretty important. We'll worry about that in subsequent missions. We're gonna save our GP for now until we get the strike. The strike is gonna be our big point investment, because we're gonna be stuck with that for a while. Not super long, because we do wind up getting strike daggers, and we start getting oh, what are they? The druggies. We get the druggie books, and those are all very good. Because right now I'm thinking I'll do pure Earth route, and then Zaft route for my second file, and then Archangel routes for the subsequent. In order to do Archangel routes, you have to start with Earth and Zaft, Omni or Zaft at some point anyway, so it just kind of works out well. We'll leave you with the SP attack, I guess. The super? Yeah, we'll leave him with the super attack. Actually, no, we'll switch him to the Go Ham mode. I don't remember if that changes your melee attacks at all. I don't think it does, like faster or anything. I know it makes you so you can chain fire basically all your ammo in one go and reload super fast. Not super useful on this unit, but most of my SP attack, super attack swaps units are going to be ones that have ranged super attacks. Those are very valuable. Here, melee, not so much. Doing actual melee combos, good. Doing melee supers, not good. Very short amount of time. It's just not. That's not. Hopefully someday someone will come up with a PSVita so I can do this in like 4K instead of 720 at least. It's actually supposed to be doing this at like 1080, but it's worse. Actually, I don't know if you're invincible during those. During the other one, I don't think you are. It just like boosts your stats. So if you look on the minimap down in the lower left-hand corner, there's a yellow box. That's ammo.
そいつはいいね。
おまけだよ。どいてよ。
Tapped it. That went okay. Easy mission. We didn't take a ton of damage. It may not give me an S. It definitely won't give me a double S. Time is a component. Killing all enemies is the most important thing, though. And minimizing your damage taken. We got a double S. We're good. Actually, I do not want that. I want to see how much my stats boosted. They boosted an amount. Is that playable? I don't remember that guy. I think he's from Astray, actually. They kind of weave some of the side story stuff into the overall narrative. So they basically give us a Gin to use, because why not? Actually, does this one look like a wizard? No, just a regular zoo kept in, like, fisticuffs or something. I don't know what his super is. We can switch to him for one mission. We can do that mission over. I'm going to dump points into thrusters and get my defense filled out. Regular mobility is important, but not super important. I've got the damage stats on those. What I'm usually gonna... Oh, I can probably bump you as well. The head Vulcans are kind of me. Like, it is often very hard to justify improving them. We'll do a repeat of that mission using this guy. I have no idea what that meant. Can I? Yeah. Alright, I think some of the things I need to start looking at. Because as you progress, you get more of these. Let's see, what are you? I think that's Rookie. Yeah, that's Rookie. That increases your experience gain. There's some value there. Let's see. Enemies take more damage while down. We'll think about it. Mental strength we don't have yet. Which is this one. Attitude control, no, we don't want that. Next one over is one we already have equipped, which is lightness dash time increased. Okay. What is this one? Quick increases turning speed. We definitely don't care. We'll keep dash for now. You I want to change though. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Skill fed cannot be provoked. Oh, okay. So, cannot be provoked. There is actually a couple units that have a stat or an ability that forces you to target them. It's not especially useful for you, but it's exceedingly annoying on enemies that have it. We don't care. So that's it's that one. Pilot experience gain. Whatever is after that. It's mechanic scout lock-on range increased by double. Reload time now. Shield strength. Hatred. Oh, we already have that? Nice! So actually, if I switch to this and go to the downed one, I can probably shred that first mission. We're not going to do that just yet. What are you? Oh, is that Iron Man? That's Iron Man. Health and physical and beam defense is increased by 50%, but damage dealt is decreased by 30. You can overcome that by pairing it with the Coordinator Killer and Ace Killer, but we don't have those. So we're gonna leave this one on for now. The lock-on range increase. That's useful enough for now. What do we have here again? We have which equipped? We have Prayer equipped. Player and AI partner are invincible for a short period of time. We have Repair available. We have Coercion. This makes you invulnerable for a while. Auto SP, we don't have that. Enrage, deal an additional 50% damage to enemies. There's some value there, but we'll keep this one. Actually, I'm going to switch to Repair. Keep me in the fight longer. We don't have the invulnerability, but Can you change their skills too? You can, except for these. You can't change these. I don't actually remember what these do. What does you do? Yeah, so he's a coordinator. So the coordinator, oh my gosh, please just focus on the relevant text. Other than HP, you get like a boost of 9 to all stats. When we get... Oh, I want to know what his does. I don't actually remember. Wu's is special. It's like practically unique. I don't think anybody else gets it other than him and his clones. I mean... So he can go into any mobile suit. He gets plus 12 to all his stats. Which is pretty handy. There's also super coordinators. Kira has that. It's like even better. But we're okay for now. I want to say there are some suits you can equip that are coordinator only. This might actually be one of them, but you have a massive stat loss when trying to use them. I will see if it lets me get away with it. And I'm gonna go to that one we just to grind a little. My ally can definitely do it. There's something you lose out. I thought it just didn't let you use them, but it's been so long since I had to worry about that requirement. Because replaying the game, you have that all. So, like, you don't have to worry about the limitation at all. Come at me, bro. So this, unlike the stock gear, does not have the leg based explosions. It's not as good. I did not switch to Oh, but I have like dual shooters. Nice. I didn't know what I had to. I did not pay attention. So it's got that going for it.
までなのか。
こんなのってないよ。
Oh, he
あれ
died.
が目標ね。
Well, that's bad. For yeah. He will revive on his own die.
俺にだって意地があるのさ。
見せてあげる。行け。うわ。走ってだけ。全力で行くよ。
Oh, there it is. Let's see.
もうダメなの。諦めたわけじゃないよ。
Alright, little gobshite. You've made a big mistake. I shoot you in the rear with a bazooka. Kaboom.
ミッション完了。
Okay, yeah, we're never using this thing again. Mostly because I get that stat analysis. I'll see if it'll come up with the screen again, and I'll do a quick translation on it. I still got this right for it. Which is probably enough, honestly, to get it most of the way upgraded anyway. I think I've got autosave on. I got something out of it. What did I get? That might have been a skill unlock. I don't want to go there. Here we go. What do you say? If a natural type pilot is on board this mech, it will not be able to operate with its original performance. Yeah, it just gives you a stat decrease. It's probably like 50%. You can upgrade bazookas, a bunch of weapons. So because you see this as an upgrade slot, this is the one that tells you how many you can shoot, like tap fire, chain fire. Because it's got, and you can upgrade it. Like if I don't have stat removal yet. Okay. I can remove anything that I upgraded from it. Let me see if I can get one more. Yeah, I don't. That's fine. Because that stat is available at all, that means I can eventually, with enough points, make it so I can like shoot 2 Zuka shots in sequence, going choo choo instead of sitting there like a dork. We're never equipping that again, unless it's by accident. He can use it just fine, but no. How about no? Alright, so space! The final frontier. I'm gonna be like referring to my translation guide here with frequency. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is quick knock. I don't care about that. The one up there, that's attitude control. I don't care about that. It's the one next to quick. It is assault. Damage to grunt units increased by 100%. Oof. I can get behind that, but I think I'm about to fight aces again on this one. Dash time increased. I don't really need that. So we're going to switch that to that's Iron Man, that's Rookie. Rookie's not bad at all, but you're like burning a slot to have it equipped. Cannot be provoked. Don't really care about So killing grunts faster is always good too. What I'm really looking forward to is the second one here. Mental strength, SB gauge consumption reduced by 30. It's very, very, very good. In fact, that one is even better than the concentration, which I think is right here. That is concentration, or will be when I get it. So I'm gonna switch to this grunt killer. And then we'll use the lock-on range, that's fine. Actually, I'm gonna switch this to the experience boost, because that seems relevant to me at the moment. I can probably do the same as well. You can also decide to go it alone, but yeah, we can do that for now. Alright. Yeah, we've got our super mode on. He's got his. Alright, let's rock. Let's see what we can do here. Now that our suit is upgraded and a reasonable suit, we get some interesting variants on this particular suit, and it's the... So this is the arcade. It's Kiryu. I should have switched to the opposite type killer. Okay, whatever, we'll do it for our second run. Switching to... I do that until I have to switch. So that blue octagon is that is his face shifter. It is now gone. He did. Now he's dead. So we do want to keep the ship alive. With vessel fighting, spaceships are actually dangerous in this game. They can kill you. They have a lot of guns. You want to shoot those guns. We also want to kill as many moves as we possibly can. So it's kind of a race. Trying to remember if me killing the ship points at if it does, then I made a mistake. Yeah, okay, so I don't want to kill everything else first. Alright. So I'm gonna get like a C for this. Oh, I got a name for it. Which is good, but not great. We're going to improve that. Wow, we went up quite a bit. that might be the strike dagger. And the one I'm using is the 105 dagger. I have a really hard time telling some of the Omni units apart. Unfortunately. Has what going for it? It's got better melee, as I recall. Less gun, but better melee. Which, you know, there's value there. Oh, don't do that. What is this doing? What is my monitor doing? Stop this. It would, wouldn't it? Come on now. No, it is still showing up on that screen. My monitor just died. What is this? I'm gonna turn it off and turn it back on again and pray. Give me a minute. This monitor, I swear, has been giving me a lot of trouble. It's a very fancy monitor, and it has been giving me mucho grief. For starters, 4K at 120 FPS is nice, but like borderline a lie. It's not quite a falsehood. Aw, don't do this. Don't. Jesus. Okay. I'm gonna have to bear with me a minute here. So we're about to play this using my streaming program and nothing else. It means my reaction time is going to be deadened by some substantial fraction of time. Increasing magazine capacity on sub-weapons is always good because shit reloads less often. Wait, that's reload time. That's reload. That's input amount, which as you can see is not a lot. You get like 2 more bullets. It's absolutely nothing. That's okay. Now what we can start doing now that we've filled out basically all the stats that I care about is over-tuning, which costs a lot, but does increase your performance substantially, and you can do it right from the jump. You can only do it up to the limit of your suit's TP max, which in this case is 9,800 points, but we're gonna be doing that. Oh, can I use the shield? I have not used the shield, so I get the shield. Round up. That's still better. So yeah, upgrading stuff is pretty good. This that's better. Alright, so this thing is about as good as we can reasonably make it at the moment. So my apologies, our stream's having some issues. Well, I'm having technical issues with my monitor being stupid and being like, oh, well, I don't recognize that you have something plugged into the HDMI port. So, it's a bit of a problem. We're gonna fake it. If you're wondering why there's a big black border around everything, that's because I can make that full screen, but I squidged it in to make the resolution more apparently not crap. No, that is the auto sortie. We are going to save real quick. Auto saving should be on. That is save, right? If it isn't, ignore the date. The date is a lie. It is a flagrant falsehood. Because I don't have a proper memory card in this at the moment. Okay. We could do so much better on this mission, it's not even funny. So that is exactly what we're going to do. So we're going to ignore the space vessel entirely and go... Ah, shoot! I meant to switch the coordinator damage boost. Crap. Let me get into the mission and then quit. We can do it without, but that will actually help us a lot. That's this. Okay, there we go. Alright, so we're gonna switch, that's lock on distance. Which are you? That I think is the grunt killer, which is this one? No, that's the grunt killer. It's 1.5 something. Could be that. Shoot, give me a sec. Where are you? Opposite type hatred. Mechanic, Scout, Agility, Impregnable. This one is Hatred. That can't be Hatred. So it's a 50% boost. Not whatever that's claiming. That's... So one of these is off. Scout, Agility, Impregnable, if this were correct. And it clearly fucking isn't. Jesus. Give me a sec, what is this? This has to be Impregnable, so I have to figure out what's missing here. Yeah, that's Impregnable. What are you then? That should still be lock-on. On range. Provoke doesn't work. Experience boost. Grunt killing. Turning speed. Balancer, who cares? Oh, just more vulnerability time and stepping. I didn't know that's what that did. Okay. More damage to downed enemies. I can switch to that then. Because you can down enemies in space. It's when they're in like a toppled stance and they're like floating there like a dork. Yeah. We will be doing that a lot. Let me try again switching my HDMI port. It's been doing this, where it's like it just doesn't know what to do with things after a while. Yeah, no, shit. Okay, well, we're gonna do this the hard way. It's fine. Alright. Please switch back to my PC screen. Thank you. Like I did with Gundam Battle Universe and Macross Ultimate Frontier, I will probably do some grinding in the background. Just to push the stats on certain units. The grind in this game, there are a lot of units to grind, but it's honestly not too many most of the time. It's kind of machines first. So that I don't have to worry about consolidation. That stings. Stop that. No boot.
損傷警備。敵もなかなかやりますね。落とされるわけには。
まだやる気なの？もう一回。
脱出します。
やったね。
すでに幕は上がっているのだ。
So ship showed up.
アスランタラ、イージス、
We're
出
gonna
る。
go for all the dudes. We do not care about the ship.
ムーラフラガ、
This might be another one where you have to like go and kill Moose instead.
結局回避。
In order to get best score. So I have to focus on Moose, killing Moose until Moose show
お
up.
前がなぜ地球軍にいる？なぜナチュラルの味方をするんだ？僕は地球軍じゃないけど、あの船には仲間が、友達が乗っているんだ。君こそなぜザフトになんか、なんで戦争したりするんだ？状況もわからんナチュラルどもがこんなものを作るから。
ゴッドフリート1万2番。お前
俺はアスラント。アークエンジェルの後ろに敵だ。何をもたもたやっているアスラン。
X102 デュエル。じゃあこれもアスラ、どういうつもりだ？このままガモフへ連行する。ふざけるな。僕はザフトの船になんか行かない。お前はコーディネーターだ。僕たちも仲間なんだ。違う、僕はザフトなんかじゃ。いい加減にしろキラ。このまま来るんだ。僕はお前を撃たなきゃならなくなるんだぞ。キラ、まだ大丈夫。落ち着きます。
To go back
ア
to
ー
the
クエンジェ
ship.
ルが攻撃されてるぞ。
Find
つけた。
these dudes.
見つけたぞ。ちょこまかと逃げの一手かよ。
クソクソクソ。
そんな戦い方で
It's a big
な
ship.
かなかやるようだ。
Ow.
そんな。 一斉射撃。敵撃破。
Alright, so Moose. Okay, yeah. So this one.
見つけた。
この私から逃げられるかな。
There it is. More dudes? No?
一
Now we
斉射撃。
その程度か。まだ損害は少ないが、どうなるよ。
Ow, that was.
少ないな。
これが本当の力だよ。
We kept the arcane tool at a little under 50% health, which isn't great. We're probably going to get another A rank for this. I don't think we'll get this. We did kill, I think, everybody that can be killed. I don't know if we fulfilled every criteria. Maximizing your score gain is tricky. It's a very tricky business. we got an S. So whatever is available to be unlocked from this mission will be unlocked. At this point, we can probably go back and do that first mission without any real difficulty. Oh, nice, we got that one. That one is more armed strike dagger, and it is very nice. I think, though, it counts as separate stats, though. From the regular strike dagger. But I think it... Oh, it's coordinator only? Fucking eek, dude. That might not even matter. But it does mean it's a pack. Yeah, okay, it does keep the stats. And it adds some bonus stats, so these stats that are in green, that's stats that are boosted by the armor equipment. Stats that are in red are ones that are reduced. So in this case, it's thruster speed, I think, or thruster total, and then mobility, which is like general move speed. None of those are good to lose, but they're all very workable. If I were a coordinator, I would not worry much. I think weapons are okay. They are unaffected. I'm gonna just slam more points into the gun, because the rest of these, again, don't really matter. They do not register. I'll take it, though. I didn't realize the strike dagger was coordinator. It's kind of weak. What does it have for an SP attack? I think that's a range spam, so I can switch to supers for this. Actually, no, I can't. Not for this. I lied. I cannot do that. You can, maybe. I can't. He's got all the guns in the world. So this, I'm pretty sure they should tell you if it's... Yeah, okay. So if you look at the gun icon there, right under the damage, which is this 325 that's blinking right now, that says it's got a gun, and then it says B. That means it's a beam weapon. If you go to this, it says S. That means it's a solid or shell. This is solid. This is solid. This is beam. So there are beam and solid melee weapons. It does make a difference for phase shift armor. But you can still, once you get rid of phase shift armor, it's a non-problem. Like, it doesn't matter, but it is a force field. Oh, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in. I'm sorry about the technical issues I've been having, but thank you. Glad you tuned in, optical antenna. So I'll leave my ally with that thing. It's good. Having lots of guns is good. Let me just double check to see if I have any of the stuff I really want to have equipped. No, I don't. I don't remember when those become available. With downing them, I should be okay. Should. When I'm in slow-mo, I just have to not use any SP until I get that. We'll make one stab at doing this. Got it.
新型機奪われたのか
回避して
分かったよ
問題ない問題ない
Dang.
ダメまだ私だって
Oh my gosh. Stop. Cease and desist.
おまけだよ
野郎だぜもん無理か
やったね
ちょっと油断したか
まだ大丈夫ですこれが本当の力だよチャンス到来
分かったよ
We're not good because we got knocked down too.
やりやがったな
どいてどいて
シャレになってないぜ俺は
敵撃破
いつはいいね。
ここですね。
これ逃しちゃった。
It's okay. We'll get it when we have the striking packs. I just need to focus on getting my SVD up to.
焦られたら。
むちゃ
And
くちゃ
then
だ。
I should be able to handle Aegis.
キャリブレーション、ゼロモメントポイントより CPG を再生可能。約1室入試面ポイント制御モチーフ直結。ニューラルインプットネットワーク再構築。メタウンドやパラメータ更新。フィードフォワード制御再起動。伝達関数、ゴリオリヘス調整。運動ルーチン接続システムオンライン。ブートストラップ起動。ダメージは大きいが、致命傷じゃない。
どいてどいて。これ以上は無理だって。効かないよ。
すまない。脱出する。
さよならだ。
期待してますよ。
わかったよ。
こんなところで。
やめろ。やったね。目標
Orange boy.
捉えたよ。これが本当の力だよ。
We're gonna
い
smack
け。
it a whole lot.
まだやる気なの？
さすがだな。よくやった。
This doesn't have like a 3-hit combo for its melee, which is kind of bad, but we'll be fine.
ザクトのモビルスーツを撃退した。
Unfortunately, it doesn't help that right now I'm playing the game in a fairly boring way.
ミッション完了。
It does happen to be fairly effective. I think S ranking it might get you what's that called? The Mobius Zero, I think. Oh, nice. And that thing is pretty handy. And I don't think that requires a coordinator to use. Yes! Yes! Got it. It's weak. It is super fragile, but it's got good weapons. So we are actually happy to have that. I'm going to switch both of us into that if it'll let me. Yes, it is not coordinator mandatory. Thank you. And I can switch to super attacks as well, because as I recall, it's got a fairly good one. What we have to do, though, is we have to burn some of our GP in order to make it even remotely viable. Because it's sorta bad otherwise. That's probably fine. This is one of the ones that has a sub-weapon that actually costs, has an actual ammo cap, and so we do sort of be a little cautious. But I'm running low on GP. I could grind initially. I'll go do, like the one against the... Do the one against the dogs again. And this way... Oh, this is space only? Balls. So that's another thing that gets eliminated. That's another part we don't have to worry about. Oh, one problem with the Mobius Zero, though, is I believe these are all solid weapons. Yeah, these are solid. So I do have to eat through all their, what's it called? Their face shift armor on the bosses. But that's okay. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Yeah, visually the game's not bad for a Vita title. The Vita title, the PS Vita was actually a fairly powerful handheld. Unpopular opinion, I think, in a lot of ways. It's definitely that's sorry. Like, I'm a Nintendo fan. I like Nintendo, but like the fact that yes. Oh, it had good games, don't get me wrong, but oh my gosh, it's so good. So I'm using these, what are they called? Barrels or gun barrels, which are focused by any other name. There's a couple different ways to use them. It's on my AI.
了解
Yeah, shoot him. Hit him with a blast.
僕を舐めないでください。
Play monkeys.
ゴッドフリート1番2番
Because, like, once your body flips over, it like, starts to
敵もなかなかや脱出します。
次
That was fine. It's not great. The Archangel took a bunch of damage.
すでに
アスランザラムーラフラ
We're just gonna skip all that. We don't care. Sorry.
回
Sorry if
避
you wanted to hear them. Like, say, so-and-so Ikimas. We're not doing that.
お前がなぜ地球軍にいる？なぜナチュラルの味方をするんだ？僕は地球軍じゃない。けどあの船には仲間が、友達が乗っているんだ。君こそなぜザフトになんか。
So, that's another cool thing about this, is it can multi-target.
もうわからぬナチュラルどもが
With the sub-weapon.
こんなものを作るか。
ちょっと待って
俺はアスランとアークエンジェルの後ろに敵だ。何をもたもたやっているアスラン。だからどうした。
次
But it's really hard to keep track of any other ones. Because fly away now.
ボス
フラが対位。
後ろにもまだでかいのがいるんだぞ。
わかりました。
There. This is
まだ大丈夫。落ち着きなさい。
so I've got
ア
to
ー
go
クエン
around
ジェルが
right
撃たれてるぞ。
this way.
発見です
せいぜい思い上がれよ。
That's not ideal, but we'll live with it.
ミッション完了行け
What did we get for 2 points? I didn't see the 2-point game. There's the point values. Oh, right down there. Okay, 2-point GP 13. I can work with that. Turn speed I do actually want to increase on this because it's a pain in the rear to work with without it. But it does have a good SP attack. Which is turn speed. Isn't that? I'm gonna be looking at the translations with frequency. Yeah, turn speed is the cap. So it takes up a lot. Golly. So you can boost this so you can shoot 5 shots in sequence, which is pretty daffy. It's very nice. I'm going to increase, however, my total ammo for this, or magazine ammo. Increase the magazine, or what's it called? Projectile speed. Shooting 5 shots at once isn't great, but it's not bad either. But it burns a ton of 2 points. I don't really want to do that. I'm not exactly down with it. Oh, this is one actually where you do want to increase your, what's it called, your reload speed as well, because having this thing out constantly is incredibly valuable. So I'm going to increase reload speed while I'm at it. Reload speed on this one, I don't really care so much. Even though these are literally the only 2 weapons I have. It's gonna be uneven no matter what I do. Don't worry about it, Fred. We'll just have 14 and have to do 3 more times as they come, I guess. There we go. Oh, that's okay. 14 shots in the bag. We'll do that. Actually, increase its damage. Alright, we should be fine. None of this is super duper ideal. And this thing is like made of paper mache. That's how they get it to fly. But we're gonna be fine here, probably. This is the one where they're descending into the atmosphere, as I recall. There's actually this cool atmospheric re-entry effect that you get if you get too close to the planet. You don't want to do that. I think it actually does do some damage to you, but not mountains of it.
総員第一戦闘配備ミッション開始します。
高度に気をつけろ。落ちたら焼かれるぞ。
So what we want to do a lot of the time.
そんなにセンス
There we go.
洗って
やるじゃない。
Do you want to wait until your weapons have traveled over to the enemy? Because otherwise you lose ammo. That's bad.
まさかやばいか。
無理しちゃダメです。かかってらっしゃい。
死んでたまるか。
一度下がって。
あと頼んだぞ。
My ally died. That's bad.
守れなかった。
Okay.
本艦は艦隊を離脱し、直ちに降下シークエンスに入ります。もう一発。いっちゃえ。見つけた。敵機をロックしました。損傷率上昇。まだまだ。邪魔だって。
もう一頑張りといきますか。
So one thing that's very useful about the doing damage while they're down, and this won't become apparent until later, is if a pilot hits like that 25 to 30% health benchmark, they'll activate a passive, reaction desperation skill thing. And if you can, so they'll do a reaction skill, and that can make them invincible or just generally more dangerous. So you do not want. Emphatically do not want. However, if you can kill them when they're in that down state before they can, because they can't activate that skill when they're in a down state. If you can kill them while they're doing that, they will not activate. So it's like you can, because you can stack passives that increase damage to both to either like opposite type or if it's an ace. I'd probably do I'd do damage stacking opposite type and ace before, at least as Omni, before I would do stacking damage while downed. But damage while downed is still extremely worthwhile. Got the next mission, got that. Those are more missions. This is the 105 dagger, or whatever it is, with packs. This is our major upgrade. Our first real major upgrade, and it's going to be what we're using on the ground constantly. In fact, I'm not going to be allowed to use this, I don't think, on this mission, unless this counts as... None of boost up the damage of that. Is that as much as it can go? That is, yes, that's hitting the effects. So what I'm running up against is the max stat cap at the moment of 5766 or 5799, and I have 5766 invested. But what I've done is I've if I were to get all these stats in the yellow, then I'd have the machine capped to the highest it can be capped, like so. So it's filled out. Min-maxing before you get stat limit unlockers. Min-maxing basically boils down to certain stats that you don't care about on weapons, reducing down further than they are, because you get under-tuning and over-tuning. We have over-tuning already, but under-tuning you have to unlock. You under-tune specific stats like, I don't know, reload speed or max ammo. Basically, if there's a weapon that's on your suit that you do not care about, that I'm not going to use this. There's some things like machine guns that won't do much good on certain units, that sort of thing. Is you basically reduce all the stats on that down to their barest minimum. Lower, you remove the blue, so it's like down at nothing. And then you put those points into any other stat that you actually get out of. That's what min-maxing looks like in this. We do not have that here. Yet. We do not have min-maxing yet. We will, eventually, have min-maxing. It says coordinator only. I think it's that. Yeah, it's that brick of 4 complex characters on top of the description. Yeah. We don't have to worry about that now, which is good. So now we have pack swapping. We've got an Ale Strike equivalent, we've got a Sword Strike equivalent, and we've got a, whatever it was, Buster Strike equivalent, Launcher Strike. Launcher Strike is what we're going to be putting our ally on, because he can shoot a big honkin' death ray. We're gonna play the field. If it's a mission against 8, it's basically 50-50. We're gonna use Launcher a lot, and then we're probably gonna switch to the Sword Strike equivalent, because we can just go ham with that. We hit them with biggest stickus. This does not, unfortunately, carry over the stats from the regular 105, which is unfortunate, but we'll live. We will live. In fact, doesn't have like more stats for 3 times. No, this has a higher stat cap, but you get more stats out of the packs. But this is our first real upgrade. What we're going to wind up getting, or second real upgrade, because the first is actually getting 105, but you get it like the first mission, so it's not big. The next one will be the Ale Gundam, or the Strike Gundam, rather. The Mobius is going to be our fallback plan for anything, like, because we can just, you know, kite things. Alright, so what I want to do here is I want to switch you over to that. And we want to make sure, is that shift mode? Yeah, we want him to be on that. Putting him on that mode means he is, for his SP attack, going to do a big honkin' Garobi. It is going to hurt. It is good. We want this. Mine will change based on what pack I have out. I think the Ale Strikes, the Ale Dagger, Ale Pack, that's whatever it is. The Speedy Pack, Thruster Pack, is, that's a melee thwack. The Sword one is a melee thwack or 2. And then the other one is the same thing, it's a Garo. So we're going to focus on that. I'm going to, real quick, just double check. He's done. Oh, we did get something new. What did we get? That is the 6th one. Corner 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It could be melee attacks are not interrupted. Yeah, it is. So where did I make the number wrong here? Which one's got flipped? That is definitely the shield strength. Shield strength. That'll be reload time. That'll be that. That'll be... That skipped or transposed. Because I know that's scout. that for now. Got the damage to downed enemies thing. We don't have to get into any like soul searching until we have to worry about the SP gauge things like mental strength and concentration. And I will recognize those when I have those pretty much immediately, because there aren't that many 3-character descriptors here, and I know where they are. They're in this first block of 9-ish to 12-ish. The one I'm looking for is the second one here, and then I think it's this one down here are the two that I care about, or this one here. It's around there. They are going to be my bread and butter, because being invincible, doing super attacks and stuff, and just generally doing SP stuff is fantastic. You are very strong when you are doing those. Right now, my SP stat is not going up very quickly. Once I have either one of those, it is going to skyrocket, because I'm going to be using them constantly. This is a good thing. Alright, we are ready to roll. Oh, I wanted to check to see if we can use the Mobius on this one. I don't know if this counts as a land mission or not. It doesn't, apparently. This one must be on an Astro. Oh, this is one of those sort of side-ish story ones, I think. With that guy who's got the Gin who defected to Omni, or whatever. He's got like dual machine guns. Which may or may not be tied to Astray. I honestly don't remember. Or yeah, this is an Astray related mission. Okay, very good. Very good. If anybody remembers my run of Gundam Battle Universe and Macross, there is a small tech involved with not targeting certain things, which is kind of broken. It makes certain things much more effective than they otherwise would be. Sometimes it does not like that. So I'm already okay. When stuff shows up immediately. It's Logue Wheel, or whatever his name is. We're gonna hit him with a big ol' honkin' SP attack from my ally here. This kills the crap. Well, I did not do an SP attack. That is unfortunate. I don't think we killed all the fighter jets, so we're probably not getting an S for it, but that's okay. We'll live. So yeah, this is an older game, and it's not... Oh, we got a double S. Nothing matters. We did get some gain to our SP stat. Unfortunately, it was with a mobile suit that doesn't matter, or a playable unit that doesn't matter. You're noticing I'm getting trophies because this is the first time I've played it on no memory card whatsoever. I'm not logged into an account or anything. There are things I want to do before I do that. I cannot go into them at this time. And don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Alright. We're going to switch to our good friend here. Actually, my starting pack I'll make this one just so I can get in. I'm going to tweak. So one of the difficulties, though, with these with pack units is a huge chunk of their TP total is tied up in weapons that are on the separate packs rather than the suit itself. So you kind of have to invest wisely early on into what weapons you want to actually cap out first. I am a villainous sort, so I'm going to go for increasing my melee damage with this thing first. I do projectile speed. Speed damage is irrelevant. It's never going to do a lot. And I also want to boost the launcher because the launcher is strong. So strong. 1066 damage. It hits like a truck. It also does not have a lot of ammo. So I'm gonna fix that. It's not gonna let me do it in small chunks at all. You eventually get the ability to double tap with it, but we don't have that yet. What I'm going to do before that, though, is I'm going to increase my thruster gauges. I'm going to bring some GP doing it. Yes, that is fine. Can I... Yes, I can fill out its defenses as well. That is also important. That is going to help us get higher... whatchamacallit scores. Higher scores in general, because we'll take less damage. This is the only one I think that has a shield, though. But we'll switch to it for now, and maybe like do some thinking with it. What I have to do, though, before... No, you didn't do it. There you go. We have to do... I have to make sure that I'm in this mode if I want to take advantage of the melee. He's going to use the big ol' honkin' Death Ray Garrow, so he'll be fine. The AI doesn't have a max ammo. They'll never run out of ammo. So if you have a unit where it's like, oh, okay, I want them to fill the support role for me and like just deal with enemies, is you basically take one weapon on that, like usually the strongest, heaviest hitting weapon, and you just scale it as much as you can. Just dump points into it. Don't care about anything else other than like basic defensive stats. The AI is dumb as a brick. It's never going to dodge anything, so don't worry about any of that. Just bump points into making its gun good, and it will hit like truck. And this is what you want. It's very gamey way to play, but it works. The metagame aspect of this is somewhat shot. Let's see, we got something new here. What did we get? Attitude control. No, we already had that. What's that? Quick, we definitely had quick before. What's the one after quick? Jump shot. No, assault. Damage to grunt units. I think this is one where we fight, what's his face? Andy Waldfeld. I think we fight Andy Waldfeld here. Or soon. We fight Andy Waldfeld soon. I don't know when. So we're only setting ourselves to be the flight pack for now. We are going to switch it once we get into combat. We're doing this literally just to have a thruster advantage and move into combat quickly. Swapping packs on the fly is a big deal. The AI, like I've said before, the AI will not swap packs, ever. They don't do it. They're dumb. It's not that well programmed. Sorry. I love the game. I love ArtDink. They didn't quite get that far. It's added layers of complexity, and I don't know how you tell them to do it. Like, it would cause more problems than it would fix. Wow, she's freaking sweet. Oh, that's right. Yeah, this rig is very easy. Alright, now we have sort of... We're faster at this, sort of. I think we have higher movement speed. just all right. Yeah, here he is. So. Oh, I forgot about this. Okay, we're good. This one's annoying because you have to kill things in a specific order to kill everything. That's up right now. So Andy Waldfeld is a, I do not think he's a coordinator. So none of my jive that would have anything to do with that. Okay, so yeah. I can't go for him. I have to go for the over here, but I don't think you can go for the. That's okay. We'll just replay this. We've got a bonus TV on this. It's no big. It's no big. Grind is part of this. We'll see what they give me. They might give me the base level Strike Gundam. They might. Yeah, they did. We're not going to worry about that. It is statistically superior, but having big gun right now matters a lot more. By big gun, I mean the launcher pack on this 105 dagger. I think they're called the 105 dagger. I'm pretty sure that's what they're called. I don't actually remember all the names of the SEED mobile suits, much to my chagrin. Sorry. I have complaints. Not about the mobile suits. The mobile suit designs in SEED are fine. The ones in SEED Destiny, that's where the problems start. That's the problems right there. SEED Destiny. Grumble. Okay, just bumped you up. We don't care about its damage. We don't really care about that. We do kind of care about mobility, though. I think that's turn speed. What are you? Oh, no, that's balancer. That might be turn speed. I don't remember all of them. This is a problem. Mobility, okay, turning, mobility, balancer. So we care about mobility. Turning apparently is reduced with this, which is weak. But we can go with mobility. Mobility up. Because we do have the spare points. And all of these stats carry over between the different pack forms. So as you can see, they don't carry. In fact, I'll just bite the bullet. How much is that? It's actually a bunch. What I'm going to put points into now, though, I'm going to put more into this. In fact, yes, this will kill a lot of things. We don't really need much projectile speed with that, but we do care about ammo totals. That does matter for this. This weapon's okay. It's basically a head Vulcan, a strong head Vulcan with really crappy spread that makes you stationary when you shoot it. It hurts, but it's kind of obnoxious. 77 damage, that is still more than the head Vulcans. What's better though are these missiles. The missiles are great. We like the missiles. We bump its accuracy to make them haha hittles, haha. Alright. The rest we can dump into dagger. The next batch of points I get, I'll probably put into the sword. Actually, I'm going to do that now. Into the sword. That is not a terribly impressive increase, to be honest. But you have infinite ammo, so I guess it's okay, right? That's alright. We'll live with it. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to zip into combat as this, switch to the range mode, the launcher mode, and then just double check to see if I got any new. Oh, you're new. What are you? Oh, that's one of the ones I care about, though. Is it jump shot? No, it's not jump shot. Oh, you're mechanic. That increases TP gain. That one's actually pretty good, but not one I would replace. That's like relevant for endgame when you want to grind up your units more. I don't really need that at the moment. And there are some missions that are superb for that. They are basically endurance horde wave missions, survival missions, and they last like 10 minutes. They are they're very long. Or 15 minutes, it's or half an hour. It's some very long amount of time. You recognize them by looking at the time limit total, and it's like, oh yeah, like an hour or 99 minutes or something. And you can clear it quite a bit faster than that, but it's like wave of mooks, wave of mooks, wave of mooks, bosses, wave of mooks, wave of mooks, wave of mooks, bosses, and it's pretty much that for like 7 or 8 iterations or 10 iterations. It's not hard. They're not especially hard, but, you know, staying alive through all that is a bit of a challenge. So again, we don't particularly care about our flight mode other than transportation. I might use the gun on it just to shoot at stuff, because most of this stuff is fragile. Like some of the aircraft, I don't have to worry about killing them quickly. So I need to not kill Andy. Andy needs to live. Kill all his friends. Not sure what I switched to, but I did switch. Don't care about Andy. Care about his friends. Hit him with a stick. You can absolutely play as those two. Okay, so we're gonna ignore him. Care about my SP faster. So we're going over here. I'm going to take out all the guns on this thing. Okay, yeah, I do have to kill these guys first. Crap. Okay, so I'm gonna ignore the boat entirely. This will be another like E-rank. Oh, we got an S for that. That's fine. I'll take that. We take those. We didn't get anything special for it. This is fine. Okay. Things are going to get real-ish just about now. This is where things get a little more complicated. I'm going to... No, we'll keep with the big gun. We'll keep boosting you. Bump that up. Bump that up. Oof, oof, oof. Look at that. Big honkin' chunk of damage. Big honkin' chunk. What happens if I spend all that on the sword, though? I think it's a bit. I'm just not gonna do that. Actually, if I take every single point I have, give me a sec. This is like. There we go. We will leave points in there. I do care about that. I don't care about you. I'm gonna do some real quick. We can bump it up a bit. We can bump it up a bit. Ever so slightly. I want it at that 1,000 damage break point. Boy. Yeah, we'll burn some GP. Probably that's fine. Actually, that means I can see launcher and swap that into here. That's just to keep that capped. Alright, that should be fine. So, my goal is to go into slow-mo and beat things with a stick. So missions are going to get kind of obnoxious. Like these missions on the surface of the water are a real pain. I do not know why. Despite the fact that ArtDink had like five titles on the PSV where there was aquatic combat, underwater, submersible combat. I do not know why they decided to this game they just cast. So I think it's like one shot things with my stick. I have to get them first. With the big guns, you have to manually hit shots. Just kind of nuisance. They do have some tracking once they're launched, but they basically fired one that. I have... Okay. Hit him.
無理しなさんな。貴様、俺に恥をかかせてくれるな。
次これで私ばっかり狙ってこのままではやられる。
Oh no. I goofed. That's right. Nicole, he was only 13! 15? 14? He had an age. Here, let me find it. Let me find it. I've got it here. This is the episode. Oh shoot, I forgot this is a two-part mission. Crap. Okay. I'll find it afterwards. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. It's okay. We're fine. We're fine. Get over here.
Yes, Red!
Oh, that's what we wanted.
無茶するなよ。
Well, I have an ally with Alright. So one of the other things that you have to, that's kind of important. It's sort of a big deal, is when people go into seed mode like this, they do not care about your slow at all. It's a bit of an insight. You'll hear a lot of that. This is the mission, man. This is the mission. Okay, let me find. Here's Nickel. Nickel loved to play the piano. He was 15. Okay, so we did not do that mission according to how I would have liked to have done that, because I forgot that going after the Blitz ends the mission, because I thought it was the next mission along, because I have a small brain. Alright, so now we're switching to the Gundam, which I think unfortunately is coordinator only. I'm gonna check that. Please don't be coordinator only. It absolutely is. Because of course it is. So I get a hefty stat malice using this, which is weak, but we don't have a choice. We're gonna put our ally in it, for sure. For sure, for sure. Faux show. We're putting our ally in that. Us, on the other hand, not quite so much. There we go. Much better. Don't care about you. Care about you a bit. Don't care about you. Don't care about you. I don't know why I have a point in that. A beam rifle is crap, but like it's an okay gun. I don't care. I don't care. I don't even care. So accuracy and projectile speed mean it's much more likely to actually connect. Damage is irrelevant. Reload speed improves how quickly you get it back. Obviously. It's kind of a no-brainer. So our boy, who is in this, we have to switch. You have to actually press the right button. That's what you have to do. We have to put him into launcher mode because big honking gun is sort of important. Sort of a big deal. Kind of sort of essential. We do actually care about durability, so we're gonna dump some GP to make that happen. We can probably move up there too. Yeah. Okay, so he's in that. So the biggest downside right now is that this thing, I will have my stats hammered by using this. Like, I basically slash its stats in half. But I'll also have phase shift armor, so I can take hits. This doesn't show what the stats actually are when I'm in this, but I don't care. Did I just literally switch them? I absolutely did. Huge brain. No. Yes. Stay. Go. You. Plop, plop, go. So the other thing I don't like about this one, I've got to grind it up, which is a nuisance, is instead of having the anchor hook as a sub-weapon, so it's really easy to just toss out there, it's as a secondary weapon, which is a bit of a nuisance. You do have more weapons. It is still objectively better, but there are disadvantages to be had here. We're gonna give this a whirl with this and hopefully not mess it up. My AI ally will be peachy creamy keen. They don't care one way or another. They just don't. They do not care. I, on the other hand, do. The reduction in stats is gonna hurt. But I think it's still going to also, it's also worth noting that the ale pack, the booster pack, actually has a very respectable thing. It's not like top tier, but it's quite good. It doesn't hit as hard per hit as the sword version. It's decidedly respectable. Bazookas hit like a truck. Hard to hit. Okay. Switch to Alrighty. That's going to be fun times. It's entirely Yes, it's skill return.
郎だぜ。
痛い痛い
やったね。結局回避。
そんな攻撃で
機体が言うこと聞かない。
That's bad.
一旦下がるんだ。
Get him into the sense of this. That's good. Okay. Nickel has managed from radar because he's more. And now he's dead.
僕のピアノ。
次行くぜ。
Switching packs just so I have it.
目標達成。
Mission
引き
phase.
続き任務を続行します。
守らなきゃみんなを。
よし、頑張っていこう。チャンス到来。
了解。
キラー、お前がニコルを殺した。
今よ、今。
分かったよ。
損傷は軽微か。まだいける。
Cruising.
一度体勢を立て直さないと。
どいてどいて。
Cruising the stops.
機体が言うこと、
So
あ
you
とはお
died,
願い。
So the reason the screen looks extremely blurry is it's supposed to be raining. Looks like it's sunny, but it's supposed to be raining, I promise. So that is going to be, yeah, like a pre-rain, because it took a lot of hits. I wanted to get the shield up, but I switched to the wrong pack too slowly, so big brain. So if you want the transcription of the diatribe that our good friend Athrun has during that entire interval, he's a very upset individual at this point. He says, "Nickel was 15. He loved to play the piano. He wasn't very good, but we made allowances because it was the polite thing to do. Except sometimes he'd take it too far and just randomly mash the keys for hours, and we'd have to make him stop. One time, Rao got so tired of it, he bitch-slapped Nicole off his stool, and then he set fire to the piano and made him watch. Come to think of it, Captain Le Creuset was kind of a dick. Afterwards, Nicole found a keyboard from somewhere and then linked it into the ship's speakers. He ramped the volume up to max, and he managed to hide from us for 2 whole hours before we caught him. We beat him so hard. So hard did we beat him." In conclusion, Nicole was 15 and he loved to play the piano. He couldn't actually play, though, and it drove us all nuts. I guess that's all I'm trying to say here. Thank you for listening. I'll go back to screaming people's names for no apparent reason now. So, deep lore. Deep characterization in Seed, for sure. I think everybody knows how deep Seed and Seed Destiny were. Oh, so deep. Deep. Deepest of deep. Deep. Yup. No sarcasm at all. I always forget to actually put that on there. Oh yeah, I knew what I will. Okay, that's a huge portion of my juice. Boost that. Because that improves swing speed too, I think. Oh, yeah, we've got enough GP to increase that. This is what we're going to be using, unfortunately, for a huge portion of our run. Until the druggies show up. Once the druggies show up, we're pretty much okay. We'll be able to make serious headway. damage to that, so we have all the thruster, the speed, and all the other good stuff. And our AI ally is going to do all the work. We're going to give this another go and hopefully not mess it up. That's right. I need to check my special stats. Nice. No, none of this is new. Okay. No. It's no good. So while there isn't a proper time stop ability like in the Macross Ace Ultimate and Triangle Frontier from Max Genius, we do get other things. So we get some stuff. Get it from the beginning. It is rather easy. So yeah, the rushing melee attack, just melee attack, you just go ham with the don't mind behind the issues. Oh shoot. Good guy. Same thing where we kill everybody but. And to that end, I want to set because I have another cool feature is that rifles will recharge over time. They won't get more max ammo, but max ammo will transition into the yeah, we're gonna have this out so that we can guard things immediately. We're gonna go into SP mode and start wailing. And then transition back, because he will probably try to kill me. Actually, I could go into rage mode and just unload on him. So right now, hold the shield out so that's good. Perfect. That's what it is. That went okay. That should be an S ranking. You can play games with boost because of the way thrusting works in this game now. Stepping is kind of a pain. Oh, yeah, perfect. Perfect for purposes of rating, which is good. Which also earns us a pretty hefty point bonus, 2-point bonus. And we got something for that. I can't tell what that is. That might be hatred. That might be one of the ones we want. That might be one of the ones that we want. We'll find out. It's near it. I don't know if it's at it. 1, 2, 3. Is that the one that I just got? No, I think it's this one. 1.5 and then 1.25. What is that? Oh, this is the thruster speed. This is Gale, yeah. Thruster speed increased by 50%, but overheating increases 25%. You overheat faster. It's not so good. That I think is the Grunt Killer. Yeah, that's Grunt Killer. The one next to it is... what's the one next to it? Quick. Increased turning speed. Nobody cares. That one is... That should be dash time. Yeah, okay, so I think it was heavy blow. Melee attacks are not interrupted. Is the one we just got. Yeah, both of those are 100% bonuses. That is the experience. Okay, we're all right. We're all right. Okay. We're gonna do some tuning. Put points into that. That should be fine. Put some points into that because the Zuka is actually pretty good. Definitely boost you because that's really good. And the shield because I'm going to be relying on it pretty hard and heavy. We don't care about you, we do care about you. And we care about... I'll be using these a fair bit. These weapons have enough ammo that I'm, other than this one has no ammo. 20 shots, that's it. You get 20 shots, and then you're out. Which is still better than the other one, the 105, or the 105 with the 105 dagger with packs. Has only, like, 10, I think, at base. It's pretty bad. We don't have that problem now. The Head Vulcans are okay. Like, sub-weapons, like Head Vulcans, are good follow-ups, but they're not, like, spectacular weapons in their own right. Like, they're fine if you have literally nothing else to do and you're trying to reload and get something done, but that's basically where it stops. This has Head Vulcans for all three, so all of those should apply to... Nice job. That I need to applies to all three packs, which is good. So we're probably going to wind up using... is that really 1062? Jesus. Is that 1230? It's still better. The Zook is probably harder to hit, though. It's a smaller hitbox, and it's a physical projectile as well, so, like, you have a hard time. Alright. I don't remember this mission specifically. I remember certain seminal keystone watershed missions. But usually not until I'm on them. Which is a bit embarrassing. Oh shoot, I've gotta go. Okay, I've got like 10 minutes. I can do another mission. Here's this guy again. He's cool. We like him.
作戦開始です
He's stuff is coordinator always.
生き残れば勝ちなんだよ戦争ってやつは
He's getting kills until we have full attack. Oh. We're not doing flags. Your ranged weapons also wind up being faster when you're in bullet time. By a bit, not a lot. It is funny though if you set your ally to have bullet time, and you don't, you get slowed way down. Which still gives you a lot of reaction time, but it is an active hindrance if you are fighting an enemy that's like a coordinator and is just gonna like disregard it. Because they'll go ham, and you're stuck there being like, what, how? That's the right one. Oh, the other one's dead. Cool. The SP attack got it. Nice. So you also have like melee combos you can do when you're in launcher mode, but they're bad, so you don't want to do that if you can avoid it. What I'm going to probably start doing is ignoring slow-mo and going exclusively for, because I'm just barely keeping up with his SP experience increase. Did we get anything interesting? We got an EX mission. We got that, which I can't use. We got that, which I can't use. We got that, which is probably something useful. We'll find out. What I haven't been. I gotta quickly dump some 2 points around. I'm gonna make this into a generalist and have everything have some points in it, and not overtune things. Normally I would not do that. There's nothing to be gained for doing that thing. Okay, so I am actually gonna overtake things. I lied. What's the melee damage on this? 698. It does a lot of thwacks though. Except for like the boot to the face, which is kind of fucking terrible. I can work with that. In fact, presence. Let's see this damage. It's like no value whatsoever. Let me check to see if it is Cordy exclusive. It's absolutely Cordy exclusive. It's too bad. It's too bad. It's also mostly physical munitions, which is pretty trash. It's because it's not so bad that it's got physical munitions, but it's bad enough that I'm like incredibly hesitant to commit. Let's see. None of the big names, but I think. Oh no, it's the phase shift armor one. That one's okay if you're fighting Gundams and you have only physical weapons. It's this. So what this one does is attacks penetrate phase shift armor, dealing 30% damage. It's okay if all you have is physical weapons, but I have other options, so it's not really going to be relevant to me at this stage. Nothing else really here. Let me see what we've got for these. We've got 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. Repair, yes. HP and SP, we can do that. Comeback restores some HP and SP. Oh wait, no, we have 1 of 4, 5, 6. No, auto SP. No. Well, actually, we could do that. We can see what that does. Enraged is also fairly good, but you have to stay alive while it's happening. Hyper mode activated. Awakening's pretty okay, but we don't have it available. It's also, I believe, Awakening and which I don't have, and the one, this one here. I believe these bypass what you have set on your for your super attack. So if you've chosen super mode or a super attack, you can do, like if you've chosen super mode, so for me the bullet time, you can do this, and this will once you hit like whatever it is, 25% or 30% health, you'll do a super attack. But I'm not so sure that that's true. I'll leave it on. Why not? We'll find out. I'll just have to deliberately take damage like a goon. Oh, my sound stopped. That's nice. Why did my sound stop? Oh, that's bad. Ah, there we go. Loose connection, I guess. It's a bit frightening. Gotta be careful of that. Okay, I've got a few more minutes. I can do one more. We'll have a nice day at the beach. Beach it up. There's what is the grunt that isn't playable? There's another, other than Aquatic MS, there's like 1 or 2. I think it's the transforming tank. That's Saft. It's in an episode. Oh jeez. Okay. So I think this is a route split mission. I have to be extremely careful where I am. When shit hits this. Because there are some specific places I do not want to be, because I would have problems if I did. Because I would go into the wrong route with everything. The last 4 hours of my life, and realized it's still not Yeah, this is the mission.
ザフト連合
Okay.
両
So
軍に
this is
伝えます
where the Archangel route splits.
アラスカ基地は間もなくサイクロプスを作動させ
This is also right before I start getting
両軍とも直ちに戦闘を停止し撤回してください繰り返しますアラスカ基地は間もなくサイクロプスを作動させ自爆します
lag.
両軍とも直ちに戦闘を停止し撤退してください
Is the stream is lag.
作戦を
本艦はこれより現戦域を放棄離脱します
できる
しっかりしてください行け
So the other thing I need to do here is I need to get out of the way because well, see how the minimap is red? That's
や
bad.
られたら元も子もないだろう
That's nuke is going to go off.
まだまだこれからだよ
I've already puffed this. So. Start getting that on. I have 3 seconds.
イライラさせるな目障りだ
バリエント
Nothing to
目的地に到着しました
避けてこの戦域から離脱する
Is this the split mission?
ポイント到着ここでいいのか
Right now I'm in that spot.
おい
I'm just not far enough away. That is so bad.
気合い入れ直しです
Whatever. I can take sandbagging on a mission. It's not a problem. Okay, so this is where it is important. I do have to go and just double check to make sure that the blue one is the one I need to take. Okay, yes, I was right. Yellow is indeed the one I need to avoid at the moment. I'm going to go for straight Earth. Go to this one. Yeah, saying going there will take me to Zaft, and this other one should be Archangel. I'm just gonna double check my text. Or not. Yeah, staying loyal to Earth Zaft. Let me just turn on my translator real quick. Yeah, leave the allies and join the Archangel. We do not want that.
俺にだって意地があるのさ
Should we stay loyal to Earth or Zaft? Pursue the remaining units of Zaft, which is what we're going to do. We're violent and bloodthirsty. We have sandbagged this mission badly, but it's
任
okay.
務を続行します
We are sticking to our guns. We can redo it, and it'll be fine going forward. It should not be an issue. But we have made our choice.
ターゲット発見
One thing this game doesn't have that the previous Gundam titles and Macross titles that ArtDink do have is a capture system, by which on one file with a certain set of pilots you can capture these that you otherwise don't have. The Gundam games specifically have this.
エネルギーがないよないじゃないの目標確認できません
Let's get the
ターゲットいなくなっちゃった
One sec. just as well. I gotta wrap this up. I have to not die though.
損傷警備
期待してますよ。
了解
もう一発。私ばっかり狙って。これってピンチ？
無茶するなよ
目標確認
Oh,
で
they're
きません。
escaping. Crap.
かかってらっしゃい。
I don't know how to lead my shots.
どう
Crap.
しちゃった？ターゲットいなくなっちゃった。目標確認できません。ターゲット
Yeah, that was
いなくなっ
terrible.
ちゃった。
But that's okay. We will resume this next week, and I'll figure out why my HDMI adapter isn't working to my monitor. It's so funny. It's the part that you'd think would work no matter what, but is absolutely not. Like, it's streaming to my computer just fine. Yeah, that's a D. We got the D. That's trash. Trash. Terabad, wretched, awful bad. But here's another special unit that I probably can't use without having a serious stat malice. So let's not do anything with that. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, everyone who tuned in. This game is Mobile Suit Gundam SEED Battle Destiny by ArtDink. The folks who I have raved about in the past and haven't done a mecha title since oh geez. They haven't done a mecha title since Macross Delta Scramble, also on the Vita, which I'd also like to show off at some point. But I'll have to actually update my Vita TV to make that happen, or, you know, do certain things to it to make that compatible. We're not going to worry about that for now. Let's see. What's the other practical upshot? Oh yeah. They are also finally, at long last, sometime this year, I believe, coming out with, what is it called? Gundam Battle something. Gundam Battle Alliance. SD Gundam Battle Alliance. So they're super deformed, so they've got the big heads and tiny little bodies. For better or for worse. But it's going to be like kind of a co-op action game. It's going to be pretty similar to this sort of kind of, probably. I hope. We'll see. We'll see. It's been so long since they've made a mecha title, I honestly don't know if they're capable anymore, but a body can dream. I hope so. I hope they can. I'd like that, because I miss them. I miss them so. They've been trapped in Sword Art Online video game development hell. So, they haven't been able to make a proper title in forever. Much to my chagrin. Very much to my chagrin. Oh my gosh. What am I doing? But yeah, I do this every week on Mecha Mondays, where I do something giant robot related or mecha adjacent. I have other streams I do throughout the week. I've got a Warframe Wednesday stream where I do some Warframe for a couple hours, and a Free Read Fridays stream where I read short stories and indeed entire novels aloud. Right now we are coming up actually on the last segment of the novel Quarantine by Greg Egan. No, it isn't that kind of quarantine. Anybody who's been listening to them knows that by now. If you haven't, check it out. If you want a sort of quantum physics powered cyberpunk mystery novel, this is the one. This is it. This is your time. If you've ever thought you wanted that, you're getting it. Alrighty, so yeah, feel free to check those out. I start broadcasting at about noon Eastern Standard Time. The last several streams have been a bit late, by about 15 to 20 minutes, but that should be stopping, I hope. But yeah, other than that, have a good one, stay safe, stay sane, and be decent to each other. See you all next time. And remember, our real friends were the giant robots we made along the way.